Welcome to Perspectives in Mobile, the news podcast from the Mobile Ecosystem Forum. Join us discussing the world of telecommunications, technology, and mobile innovations.
Welcome to a new episode of MEF Podcast Perspectives, in which experts and industry leaders talk about what they think, see, and expect in the world of technology, telecommunication, and innovative services. I am Riccardo Amati. From a pure voice player to new service provider, what vision leads to founding iBASIS Group? At what stage is the ongoing transformation? What's the upcoming focus? These are some of the questions MEF has for Alexandre Pébereau, CEO of the group, and Patrick Georges, in charge of product and business development. Thank you, sirs, for joining us.
Thank you, Riccardo, for inviting us.
Alexandre, would you describe in a few words iBASIS business?
Yeah, today, we founded the new iBASIS, Patrick and myself, a little over 5 years ago, to create an alternative voice carrier, alternative to large groups such as Vodafone, Orange, and the likes. We both felt that this industry was at a stage where, an independent an alternative carrier to large groups to better serve independent mobile network operators such as SFR or KPN, but also the Google and Skype of this world. It was time to create that alternate player 5 years ago. And so we created Toughen Global now, which is still our holding company and the name of our holding company. But from there, we were able to successfully acquire 7 companies, both in the voice and the messaging space, and create that alternative player of €500 million in revenues, profitable, obviously, fully deleveraged, and we paid off all our initial debt. And we are not a voice player only anymore. We have 40% of our business coming from messaging, roaming services, and Internet of Things.
What are the latest developments and happenings in the group, even from the product point of view, Patrick?
The latest development was in inorganic movement was the acquisition of Dimoco that we closed at the beginning of the year 2023, and that we integrated during 2023. So that's the latest development. We're also continuing to invest in the development of our various services, on our footprint. So the regional hub in Lisbon, an insourcing of the NOC in India, so we create our own structure in India, while the previous owner of the company has decided to outsource that facilities. We decided to insource to have more control and to offer even more quality to our customer on that side. So that's really where we invested a lot. And of course, the Dimoco acquisition gave us a kind of a center of gravity in the DACH region, so in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and the Central Europe region.
Where do we stand with Dimoco incorporation in your group, Alexander?
Well, Dimoco is fully integrated. First, we have rebranded it iBASIS. Like all the acquisition we did before were also all rebranded commercially as iBASIS. The team, we make a reverse takeover, so to speak, where the management team of Dimoco took the lead of our own team, since Dimoco was a little bigger than our own business. And now it's fully integrated, doing both monetization project, such as the one we had in Claro, Ecuador, or in Niger, but also developing more and more quickly all the B2B services with banks or other corporate companies.
We were talking about messaging, Patrick. What are your expectations for A2P messaging? How much revenue can generate for your group and for mobile operators in general, as a business in general?
Yes, so I will disappoint you. I will not give you a hard number because, again, what I said, we are a private company, private-owned company. Management, we have put our savings, both Alexandre, myself, and the management of the company. So for us, what matters is profitability. It's not revenue. Doing revenue for the sake of doing revenue has very little interest for us. It's about profitability. And the expectation also when you ask the question about the operator, again, is to make sure that the operator will get we protect the revenue that the operator should get by the termination of their on their user. So meaning to protect the revenue stream, to make sure that they collect the right amount of money, they are not bypassed, they are not abused by some of the, I can say, more dodgy player. And also for the brand, also making sure that the traffic they generate is real and they are not also hijacked by some of the people about generated traffic. So for us, really, the ambition is to replicate the positioning we have on voice to protect the interest of the value chain, both the brand, which are the sender of the traffic, and the operator, which are the receiver of the traffic, and making sure that all those people get the right money they deserve to get on this value chain. And that's really our trademark. That's something we want to. We have as a core value when you speak about messaging business. Again, we came late in this business, but with the idea of doing this business in a very clean way, in a very transparent way, amongst the different stakeholders.
Any more acquisitions in the near future, Alexander? If ever, in international voice or messaging or what else, if ever?
For us, it's very important. That was the key of our success so far, is that we have always integrated our acquisitions. So for us, first, we finished the integration of Dimoco. And when we say that, it's already fully integrated. But to go to the next level of growth, and that's where we are. So as we speak, we do not have anything special to announce. Clearly, in the future, we will continue our consolidation. We believe that both in mobile services and messaging, there is room for consolidation. In the case of messaging, for instance, the number of independent players is clearly, and the rise of the interest rate is clearly an opportunity to go for the next level of consolidation, find opportunity at a cheaper price than it used to be. Cheaper price meaning that it will be a more reasonable operation, M&A operation, than it used to be. We have all seen what happened with some of those acquisitions made at very high prices. It was important that the market calms down and come back to a more reasonable, more economical level.
What vision leads your transformation to? Patrick, please add what you want to add.
Yes, if I can add 2 points on the acquisition expectation is, again, we are not here to make acquisition for the sake of making acquisition.
Absolutely, that's very impressive.
Yes, so, and I will not give you any name, but no, it's for us, it's very important when we make an acquisition. Again, as Alexandre said, we make acquisition to integrate the consolidate. So the cultural fit is something key for us. Yes, exactly. To rebound of what I said before, we are not in the generated traffic, so we will not acquire any company who is good at doing that because it's not our core value. Also the cultural, we have a very diverse cultural company with, this 7 acquisitions, and it's very important to make sure that we can deal with company culture that can fit well to the actual mix. So that's why we are very, very disciplined in terms of acquisition, looking really to say who can be the next partner in the family, the next member in the family, because we don't want to jeopardize the whole family, you can say unity, the whole family spirit. And that's very, very important. So that's why, again, we're not in a rush. We are open. We are looking to some different files, but it's very important to have this cultural fit and to that serve the purpose of our master plan.
That's an important puntualization. I was asking Alexandre, I think, about the vision. I mean, you were a pure voice player. We are becoming more and more a new services provider. What's the vision beside this transformation?
For us, indeed, and thank you for the question, because indeed we had a clear vision to form that alternate player in voice and to be, to have the scale of the voice player, because to be one more time recognized by Telegeography as the fourth player in the voice industry, after Orange, Vodafone, and Dutch Telecom, that means a lot. It means that we indeed met our objective in that space. So the second part of the vision is to reinvest our success on our cash flows into the new international services, such as the roaming services and messaging. And there, the consolidation is also a need, but it's the consolidation not for independence. You have many independent players in the messaging and roaming services, but for quality. There, what we believe we bring a difference is typically because all our employees are part of the project. Everybody has a stake in the company, receives a part of the value created together year after year. Because we believe that we have this integration of a global organization, and every time we make an acquisition, we keep the top management of that acquisition. I mean, Edwin van Arlen is part of the executive team. AJ Joseph is part of the executive team. Cameron Alof is part of is leading our messaging part. We still have Nicolas Barret from SFR with us. So with those managers to replicate that system with messaging managers, roaming managers, and lead our acquisition through the consolidation of talents and platforms. Okay. And there, what we believe is that because we're in the digital space, it is every time we get the scalability, it is with very little capex, because that's the beauty of our industry. You do not need much capex to grow your capacity. When you take the PN. And that's why also Patrick, as the telco engineer of the duo, is so critical for every single acquisition he makes, because he's the one who can tell us and tell the organization, again, this acquisition makes sense, makes management sense, makes business sense, but makes also technical sense and technological sense.
That's very clear. Changing subject, I think the question is for Patrick. How will AI change your business, if ever? Do you have AI strategies?
So, multiple parts of the answers to this question. We are working on AI with AI for several years on voice anti-fraud. So to discover, wrong behavior, bad patterns, and all of that. So that's really that was already developed by our PhDs some years ago. On the other side of the business, I guess we have a good room to improve of how we use AI, how we use those new capabilities in the different, on the product side, but also the way we operate. I get, let's be fair, we are not yet, have embraced yet enough those AI, ChatGPT capability, for example, on our on the development of our corporate, marketing, on our on the way we document, on the way we develop business model. But this is definitely something we have in mind. For example, for the moment, we are working with some experts to define our positioning regarding identity, identity management, and where in that scenario also AI can be an interesting way to protect, can say the different player on the value chain. And again, for us to respect all the rules, GDPR, and that is super important.
So it's something that needs to be of support of your products. That's your way of thinking about the artificial intelligence. Am I correct?
Exactly. So again, we are a 400 people company, so we need to cherry pick our battle. We cannot do everything, so we make sure that we use the right resources to address to bring additional value. And that's where AI, for the moment, AI is a buzzword, but we cherry pick the battle. The first battle was about on the anti-fraud, and now we are exploring a different additional field to see where it can add more value for us and our customer, of course.
Alexandre, you come from Orange many years with the company, and then something completely different. What's the main difference from a manager point of view? It's even a personal question. It's not necessarily just about business.
Of course, yeah, because actually what happened is that I was running an international carrier business with Orange, and when I left Orange, and as of today, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm running an international carrier business. But my whole personal life changed. First, I can make my own decision, and I have to also to accept my own mistakes. Cannot blame anyone anymore for that. But I have the biggest reward that every morning when I wake up, I know that it is going to be for me, for the project I have, and to have and to see that the vision of independence and alternate choice that we had together with Patrick is now a living project, and that's really so rewarding. I think that's really important. The other biggest change is that it's really together, Patrick and I. When we wrote, to explore new field, when we decided, to go after messaging, we didn't have to ask any investment committee. It was a lot more about what would be, what kind of geography would be fun to visit, what kind of people we want to work with going forward. And to make decision based, of course, always it's of course financial decision. I was talking about every time about a lot of money at the scale of an entrepreneur, but at least the fun part in the decision is a lot more important. I think that's it. That's it.
Less red carpet, Patrick. Less red carpet. Less steps that you need to do because of the bureaucracy, which is part of a big company, even if it's a modern.
What is very rewarding in this story is nobody give us business because they have to, So for any business we win, we need to win it on the market. We need to be good. We need to be the best. So that push, I guess, the company to the excellence. And everybody knows that if we are just average, we will not get business. So that's very important. Second is when some of our peers in big groups have guaranteed business from their affiliates, the drawback they have is a more heavy decision tree, and the politics. While here, we are highly flexible, from Alexandre, top management, to the person at the entrance of the building. Everybody knows that we are working for our own money, and so everybody is really flexible, adaptive, and super committed. We made another employee survey, and the engagement level is each year is going higher. So we can be very proud that all our people are really together with us in this journey.
Some more words about the management style from Alexandre. I mean, from what I understand, it's kind of a horizontal way of managing the business. You said that, the people that were manager of, for example, messaging, they still do that, and they are still in charge of what they were doing before the acquisition by the Tofana Group. So, some words about that again. I think Patrick described part of it, but
the way we are organized to be a global company, and because we are in 27 countries, and with the 7 acquisition, it's as many decision centers. We are organized with global functions. So finance is for all of the company. HR is the same. Messaging is the same. Voice and IoT, and last roaming services. That's how we organize. So it means that we spend a lot of time on our teams to coordinate everyone. But at the same time, it is a way to more quickly integrate each acquisition, because each acquisition has to connect to the rest of the organization in a very short time frame. Sorry. The second important character we have in our culture is also after the diversity we already mentioned, we have the flexibility, meaning that everybody is coming from a large organization. We all know how to respect safe process, so that nothing bad happens without anyone, without someone not being aware of it. And at the same time, we are able to react very quickly when a customer is asking us some a special feature or a special condition. That the fact to be closer to the customer is extremely important.
So reactivity is something that a company like, if you make a confrontation with companies like Orange, etc.
Of course,
for a company
exactly.
Like
and the last point is really the trust. The trust in teamwork, and the fact that we empower people. The trust in teamwork means that as we are, but that's nothing special to an operator. You have to work in teams. If only for the time zone, and the need to have always your knock on the watch, and so to have the relay from one time zone to the other, but also to serve a customer from voice to SMS or to roaming. There again, you need to count on the engineer specialized in each field. And last, the empowerment allows everyone to know that what kind of decision they can make, what kind of commitment they can take with a customer or with a partner, and to make sure that they will have the organization behind them once we have to deliver that commitment. And I think that's where, when I compare it with Orange, we really create a very special and unique culture. Patrick?
If I can add, I guess, because Alexandre is very modest, he will not add that, but Alexandre and myself, we have also evolved a lot, coming from at the beginning, it was, the project was Alexandre, I was his first companion, and at the beginning you want to jump on everything, because it's your own SME, your own company, your own family, and then progressively, because of the size and because of the trust in teamwork that Alexandre and the empowerment that Alexandre mentioned. Also to make sure that we put in place business unit, with a kind of demarcation point in terms of responsibility. For example, Edwin van der Laan is leading the voice and mobile and messaging business unit. And on the other side is Nicolas Barret and AJ Joseph leading the IoT part. And progressively also making sure that both Alexandre and myself, we try to not jump on every subject, but making sure that we concentrate on where we can add more value, and leaving, I can say, people like Edwin to really give his full empowerment and to lead his business unit. And that's really an evolution that we both have in the company, and this is something I guess you probably recognize in a lot of company. When you become bigger, you need also to evolve the way you run the company.
Sure. Just a stupid question to end our conversation. Is it still Tofan Group or is it iBASIS for group?
It's still Tofan. Tofan will remain as a holding company and iBASIS as the operations. All 7 acquisitions over the past 5 years have been integrated under the iBASIS brand. Even Democo, where we were wondering if Democo was willing to keep its brand, they preferred, and so we preferred together with them to switch to iBASIS. But Tofan stands, especially as a holding company, because it is a way to make sure, for the next target, if people want to keep their identity, they know it is possible, okay? Because they talk with the holding company.
Thank you, Alexandre, Patrick. That's all for this episode of Perspectives, the MEF podcast in which experts and leaders talk about the world of technology, telecommunications, and innovative mobile services. Till the next episode, from Riccardo Amati, goodbye, and good luck for your work.
Thank you so much, Riccardo.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to Perspectives in Mobile. Join us next as we explore telecoms, technology, and mobile innovations. Stay tuned, stay connected, and let's unlock the mobile potential together.